Welcome back. All right, so just the 4 games tonight. There was one game earlier. That recap's already on the channel. It was Tampa Bay and Carolina in that one. We've got these 4 here. There's no slaughters in this one. There's no shutouts in this one. Some really good games, though. So we're going to go ahead and start things off with Detroit and Philadelphia. It is interesting at this time of year how when you've got a matchup between two teams that likely aren't making the playoffs or just flat out aren't making the playoffs, the energy level is completely different than it is in the other games where you've got teams that are in the playoffs. Husso versus Hart in this one, it's hard to describe. It's really hard to describe, but it's a completely different thing. Good early back and forth in this one. There's a press by the Flyers at 2 minutes. They lead in shots 3-1 at 3.5 minutes. But at 4:51 on their second shot, David Perron gets one from Kopp, so Detroit's up early. Wings look to add another. Farabee's denied and close. There's a near miss for Allison. The Wings cleared out. Then there's a post for Fabry on a one-timer. Near miss for Raymond. Wallman then has a shot that's held. So the Wings with some good pressure here. The Flyers end up getting a power play. That's killed off. Wallman couldn't bury one late. The Flyers cleared out. It's 1-0 Detroit after one. Second period, early press by the Wings. They had the only shot on net 3.5 minutes into this period. Raymond fires one wide as the Wings are pressuring. We get a power play for Detroit. And then on a turnover, Delorier scores at 6:53. That's the 11th shorthanded goal this year for the Flyers. They're very good shorthanded when it comes to getting the goals. No idea what the magic is with that. Flyers press at 9 minutes after finishing that kill, of course. Shots are 4-2 for the Wings at 9.5 minutes. There's a press by the Flyers with 8.5 minutes left. Eventually, they get the lead. It's Noah Cates from Ristolainen and Seeler. That says Sider. It's Seeler at 12:57. Sider didn't get traded. I should go ahead and change that. There's not going to be that many people watching this because there's only 4 games, so it's not a big deal. I could even write Bobby Clark. I don't know that anybody noticed. Wings press to respond. Tippett has a turnover chance that's held. Ristolainen has a shot that's saved as the Flyers press. There's some pushing and punching with 2:11 left. Sider was unhappy with Lemieux, but usually if you're playing against Brendan Lemieux, that's just your default state anyways. So it's 2-1 in favor of Philadelphia after 2. Third period, JVR has a chance that's held. Hayes is denied from a sharp angle. Shots are 4-0 Flyers at 4 minutes. We get a power play for the Wings. That's killed off. The Flyers cleared out. Get a power play for the Flyers. D'Angelo has a shot that's saved. That's cleared out. That power play is killed off. Things get punchy as the Flyers go back to the power play. The Wings prevent a setup. And then things get punchy again on a hold by Husso. Considering where these teams are in the standings, kind of surprising to see how physical things got, but it happens. Flyers press with 4 minutes left. Larkin has a shot that's held with 3:01 left. Detroit would pull the goaltender. That would give Lawton the empty netter at 18 minutes and 12 seconds. The Flyers win this one 3-1. They go to 24, 28, and 11 with the win. With the loss, Detroit 28, 26, and 9. And yeah, the white flag went up at the deadline, and it's reflecting in their play on the ice. The shots in this one, 14-10 Philadelphia in the first, 9-5 Philadelphia in the second, 14-11. Flyers in the third, they outshoot Detroit 37-26. Power plays, Detroit 0 for 2, Philadelphia 0 for 3. The hits, 26-22 Philadelphia. Husso saves 34 out of 36. Carter Hart saves 25 out of 26. So there you go. All right, next up. Montreal and Vegas. So this one wasn't close, and then it kind of got close. It was Allen versus Quick. Nice to see Jonathan Quick playing in Vegas. They modified his mask to make it look like a Vegas mask, but it's clearly a bit of a modified version of the LA one. So I don't expect that to be his actual Vegas mask. I would expect a new one from him. But it's fun. Anyways, Eichel has a rush chance that's defended. White Cloud has a shot that's blocked as Vegas presses. We get a power play for the Golden Knights. That was killed off by Montreal. One shot allowed there. Shots are 2-1 for Montreal 6 minutes into this one. That was Vegas' only power play, too. They really aren't drawing chances. Habs press at 7.5 minutes. Kessel's then denied on a rush. The Habs had a 3-on-2 that was broken up. Vegas rushes again. Haig has a blast that's held. The shots are only 4-4 at this point. Carlson can't bury one in close. The Habs clear, and then Theodore would open the scoring from Bluger and McNabb at 12:37. That's Bluger's first point as a Vegas Golden Knight. Marchessault then has a sharp angle shot that's saved. Barbashev has a chance that's held as now Vegas is really taking over. Howden couldn't bury one on a turnover chance. We get a power play for Vegas, or a press by Vegas, I should say, in the final minute. And eventually, on a good cycle, Barbashev taps one in. Eichel and Marchessault with the assist at 19:42. Barbashev's fit in really, really well. It's just worked, and it was a really smart pickup by Vegas at the deadline. Second period, early press by the Golden Knights. Haig with a near miss. The Habs get pinned down. Ulanen's denied. Quick holds. And then Riley Smith. It was a give and go. It was a turnover, 2-on-1. Carlson with the assist at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. It's 3-0 in favor of Vegas, and it looks like this could end up being a laugher. Habs press for a response. We get a power play for Montreal. That's killed off. Pressed by the Habs after that. The shots are 7-3 for Montreal with 6 minutes left. Theodore has a one-timer that's held. We get a press by Vegas with 4 minutes left. Marchessault then has a net drive that's defended. But it's 3-0 going into the third period. In the third, near miss by Harvey Pinard, who's all over the ice. Every game for them right now, he's all over the ice. Habs had the early jump, and eventually they score. Matheson walks in and wires at Drouin with the assist at 2:05. Habs look for another. The shots on net are 2-0 in their favor at 3.5 minutes. They end up getting a power play. Hoffman's denied. The Habs cycle. Stevenson's then denied on a rush as that power play ends. Vegas would then get an insurance goal. It's Barbashev with the second of the game. Amadio and Haig with the assists at 7:44, while Jake Allen was vociferously denying that one should be a goal. But yeah, it crossed the line. It was a goal. But at 8:07 seconds after that, Belzile answers from Pizzetta. He blasts that one through quick. And then at 8:43, Harvey Pinard scores from Ulanen to make it 4-3. This is where Bruce Cassidy calls a timeout for Vegas. Smart move. Calling a timeout just to try to get that changed. Kovacevic then had a fight with Martinez. We get a near miss for Anderson with 3.5 minutes left as Montreal's close to tying it. The goalie pull happens with a minute and a half left. Drouin was denied in the closing seconds. Vegas wins this one 4-3. They go to 38-19-6 with the win. Montreal 26-33-9 with the loss. The shots in this one 13-5 Vegas in the first, 12-4 Montreal in the second. Both teams had 11 shots in the third. Final shots 28-28. Power plays Montreal 0 for 2, Vegas 0 for 1. The hits 31-30 for Vegas. Allen saves 24 out of 28. Quick saves 25 out of 28. So I thought Quick had a good game. I know people were dumping on him for allowing 3 goals in the third. But I thought overall, when you look at the body of work, he had a good game. He had a very good second period. Yep, he allowed a few in the third, but in the end, they win the game. So Jonathan Quick now has a win as a Vegas Golden Knights goaltender, which if I had said that was going to happen a week ago, nobody would have believed me. Next up, New Jersey and Arizona. This ends up being a lot closer than it should have been. And I say that because New Jersey, this is a team that they should be able to handle. Arizona sold off at the deadline. But Arizona played very loose today, very relaxed. So it's Vanacek versus Ingram, and of course they're wearing the third jersey, so I have to put Cactus Leg on the board because I like those third jerseys. People know I like those third jerseys, and the whole outfit is kind of fun. So good early play by the Coyotes. Mercer then can't bury one on a rush. His goal streak came to an end tonight. Yes, it did. That was an 8-game goal-scoring streak. He had his opportunities, though. The shots are 4-1 for the Coyotes at 5.5 minutes. We get a power play for Arizona. That's killed off. Hamilton has a blast that's saved, and then the rebound is put in by Timo Meier. He gets on the board in his first game as a New Jersey Devil. Hamilton and Bratt with the assists at 9:09. Heischer's then denied on a rush the next shift. So it looked like, again, this might be one-sided, but Michelli would score from McBain and Soderstrom at 10:19, and it was during a mad scramble at the New Jersey net. So just some disorganization there, and Arizona takes the advantage and ties it. Coyotes then press with 4.5 minutes left. Krause fires one wide on a net drive. There's a near miss for McBain on a tip attempt. And then Boquist buries one from the side of the net to make it 2-1 New Jersey from Severson and Howell at 18:18. There's a last-minute press by the Coyotes, but they're down 2-1 after one. Second period, early press by the Devils. Mercer's denied on a fast break. There's a too many men on the ice call. That leads to a power play for the Devils, and they score on it. It was a blast by Severson. It was a screenshot as well. Mercer and Howell with the assists at 4:43. Devils press for another. The shots are 5-1 in favor of New Jersey, 7.5 minutes in. Soderstrom then has a chance that's blocked. They cycle, and they score. Cassian gets a goal from O'Brien and Mackey at 16:23. So that's Connor Mackey's first point as a Arizona Coyote, I do believe. I don't think he had one in their first game. That's a one-timer over Vanacek's shoulder as well. So Cassian doesn't score that often at this point, but sometimes he gets pretty ones. Boquist would get that back, though, from Palat at 19:17. It's a one-timer from the slot. If you need a goal late in this one, apparently Boquist in the first and the second he's your guy. Third period. There's an early press by the Coyotes, and a really impressive one that leads to a goal. It's a one-timer on a great pass by Keller. Schmaltz buries it. Keller and Valimaki with the assists at 1:29. Mercer then has a rush chance that's held. Valimaki has a net feed. That's blocked out. Things get pushy on a hold by Ingram. Keller's denied on a rush. Hughes then had a net drive. That was held. The shots are 6-4 for the Devils. 8 minutes into this. The Coyotes get a power play. McBain's denied. That's killed off. The Devils would get some pressure late in this one with about 2.5 minutes left. But then Arizona gets into New Jersey's zone and they score. It's McBain from Valimaki and Krause at 18 minutes. One-timer and a great pass by Valimaki forces overtime. So the Coyotes control early. They would allow a shot, though, to Arizona to get the puck back, and he sure wires it on a 2-on-1. Hamilton with the assist at 23 seconds. So New Jersey survives the scare tonight. They win 5-4 in Arizona. They go to 41-15-6. With the overtime loss point for Arizona, they're 21-32-10 on the season. Shots in this one, 15-12 Arizona in the first, 15-5 New Jersey in the second, 12-8 New Jersey in the third. Both teams had one shot in the overtime. New Jersey's the one that counts. Final shots, 40-29 for the Devils. Power plays, 1-for-1 for New Jersey, 0-for-2 for Arizona. The hits, 33-22 for the Coyotes. Vanacek saves 25 out of 29. And Ingram saves 35 out of 40. So overall, a solid game. Ingram played really well. Vanacek, there's been some shakiness from Vanacek lately, but again, New Jersey's scoring enough goals that it doesn't really make a difference right now. All right, and last up, Seattle in against Colorado. The Avs are officially in a bit of a slump right now. This one's one that they probably should have had both points in this one. So it's Grubauer versus Georgiev. We had back-to-back icings early from Seattle. They're a little bit out of sorts. Byram's denied. The rebound's cleared. Dunn fires one high on a rush. The Kraken press. And with shots on net, the Kraken are ahead 4-1, 5.5 minutes in. Teams exchange rush chances. And then on a face-off win, McKinnon with the second shot on net for Colorado. He scores from Lehkonen at 9:19. Rodriguez then has a rush chance. That's held. Donato with a rush chance. That was defended out, so he doesn't get to the net. Gerard near miss on a brief press. Then there's a delay game call. The Avs get the power play out of that. Confer with a slot shot. That's kicked aside. Shorthanded 2-on-1 takes place. McCann fires high. That power play's killed off. Just the one shot for Colorado. Last minute, there's a press by Seattle, but they're down 1 after 1. Second period. Power play for Seattle early on. Wenberg's denied and close. They cycle. Shorthanded 2-on-1. Nichushkin fires wide there. That power play's killed off. One shot allowed during that power play. Tanev misses one wide on a fast break. There's a post for O'Connor. Seattle clears it out. The Avs press at 7.5 minutes. McCann has a rush chance. That's held. Tolvanen's robbed on a breakaway. Tolvanen, good game for him tonight. Just doesn't get the goal there. Confer has a one-timer that's kicked aside, and then Seattle ties it. It's Wenberg. And it goes through a screen, deflects in. Borgen and Schwartz with the assists at 9:52. So Seattle works hard. They tie it up. Seattle presses for the lead, but at 11:45 on a breakaway, it's Malgin, who's been a really solid addition from Toronto. Makar and Rodriguez with the assists, and all of a sudden Colorado's back in the lead 2-1. Power play for Seattle, that's killed off. Nichushkin has a rebound shot that's held. After 2 periods, it's 2-1 for Colorado. Third period, we had a 2-minute 5-on-3 for Seattle to start. So not a fantastic way to start the period if you're Colorado. Tolvanen's denied. The puck's cleared out. McCann has a shot that's caught and held. The power play's killed off. I think there were 3 shots during that. The fans were cheering, and I thought, okay, they killed a 5-on-3 to start the period. That's a strong start. They should be able to close this one out. So, Avs get a power play. Rantanen's denied. The Avs cycled. That's killed off. Seattle goes back to the power play. That was killed off. I don't think there was very much in the way of chances there. Makar's denied on a rush. Donato couldn't bury one in close. There's a brief press for Seattle that follows that. Kraken with momentum. Georgiev's holding on at this point, and I thought they relied on him a little bit too much in that third period. Cogliano has a rush chance that's held. The Kraken press. There's a post for Tolvanen, and then Tanev scores. He gets the goal from Schwartz at 17:30. That ties it up. We're going to overtime. Kraken controlled, and I don't believe that the puck was touched by the Avs at all in the overtime. At 1:24, Yanni Gourde scores from Dunn and Beniers, and that's your game winner. Seattle goes into Denver, and they win 3-2. They go to 36-21-6 on the season. For Colorado with the loss, they're 34-21-6. So Colorado gets a point because they have games in hand on Winnipeg. They do jump past Winnipeg. But at any rate, the shots in this one, 7-6 Seattle in the first, 11-10 Seattle in the second, 16-7 Seattle in the third, and they had the only shot of overtime. That's all they needed. Final shots 35-23 Seattle. Power plays 0 for 5 for Seattle, 0 for 2 for Colorado. The hits 24-17 for Seattle. Grubauer saves 21 out of 23. He was very good against his former team. And Georgiev was pretty solid too. 32 saves on 35 shots. And there you go. You're all caught up. Tomorrow we got 6 games in the National Hockey League. For today we had 5. And like I said, I already reviewed the other one before these games got started. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.